Alrighty, second time's a charm, and welcome back, gamers. Welcome back, gamers.
Wow.
To the Sports Podcast. I got the giggles. I'm sorry. And this is episode 37, the first numbered episode of this year. Jones. Damn.
Okay.
Thank you. And the date is January 30th, 2022. And today we're gonna chat about all things Legend of Zelda, from past to present, to future, when we're like 80 and still playing Zelda. We're gonna talk about that and what that's gonna be like, and all the things.
I'm gonna be freaking deep diving into Zelda by that time.
I'll be deep diving into a casket somewhere. Oh, nobody? Okay, good talk. And today I'm joined by Eric. Just finished stuffing his face, Jones.
That was like 5 minutes ago, so you can't do that. But it's a man, Jones.
I think he'd probably come back as a zombie to play Zelda.
I would too.
Eric Zombie Jones.
Triforce. Kim, the shiny witch.
Top one so far. First shiny is a beginning.
Yep, because she just caught her first shiny. And on that note, just real quick before we continue, next week's episode is going to be all about Arceus, and I'm very excited about it because I love it. Anyway, hesh. Anyway,
Arceus! Stay with me!
Oh, it's Arceus.
It is Arceus.
Okay, Arceus. I concede. I don't want to start an argument. I will say Arceus next week. Anyway, and last but not least, Kevin, the man, the aggro man. There we go. Got it. Hit it.
Well, if you pronounce words right, it wouldn't aggro you.
Yes, I will work on that, damn it.
Oh, you just guys know how to be like me, where he just won't even bother because he knows I'll just keep doing it forever and ever. And that's certain thing.
On certain things, yes, and then correct other people about other things, jackass.
Nothing all
Anywho, let's dive right into it. At the very end of the episode, I have brought back the quiz, so the rivalry between Kevin and Eric will resume this year, and there will be a legit prize this time. Kevin, I still owe you something from your win from last time, so don't let me forget that.
You gotta find me a Rydia figure. There you go.
Trust me, I have been looking, to be honest. Kevin demolished Eric last time. No joke.
No, it was not. He might have won. It was not demolished.
How does it feel, Eric, to suck that hard?
Speaking of aggro.
You make a lot of money in Beijing sucking that hard.
Well, Jones, you better up your game, bro. This first quiz is gonna be...
Go up what you're trying to say.
Listen, this first quiz is gonna be a little bit on the easier side, but there's some few hard ones in there. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
So we're gonna see who comes out on top, and depending on how it goes today, I might throw a little curveball in there, but I'll let you guys know. After the episode, please stick around because there will be a bonus points episode based on the Game of the Year episode that you guys didn't know about, but that's going to be a nice little surprise. So, with that being said, let's kick it off. Jones, hit us with some transition music. Boom. Alright, what was the very first Zelda game that you guys played? Let's start with Kim.
The very, very first one I remember playing was mainly a side scroller.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't very much. I was just happy to be able to be allowed to play a video game at that time.
Are you talking
Legend of Zelda 2 sounds like.
Sounds like the Adventures of Link.
Yeah.
But I didn't play it I couldn't really get into it. I was just playing it just because I was being allowed to play a video game.
I think Kim should write an autobiography that says the Kim Holiday story. I just couldn't get into it. Because every time we ask her about a game, she's like, I played it, but I just couldn't get into it.
It has the word Pokemon or Final Fantasy in it.
That is true, which is why we're doing a Pokemon episode next week. Everybody can be involved.
But I was going to say the earliest one I remember actively playing and thoroughly enjoying it, playing it on repeat again and again and again, is the one that that's downloadable or that you can play on the Nintendo.
Do you want me to tell you the title since you apparently can't remember it?
I can't remember
Link to the Past.
Yeah, Link to the Past.
Minish Cap.
No, that one's in a different topic. We're not talking about that one yet.
Damn.
No, you said...
Wait, what's happening?
A Link to the Past is the one I remember playing the most. Like in the early days. That's the earliest game I remember actually actively playing a lot of. It's not my favorite, but
this is I didn't even know she played Link to the Past, quite honestly. She's never spoken of it.
That's a hot take right there.
She mentioned it in an episode of the podcast.
Not that she played it over and over and over and over and over and over.
Not the over and over part, no.
And then Options came out.
I gotcha. Okay, cool beans. Kevin, how about you, bro? What was the first one you remember playing?
Legend of Zelda. Very first one, Legend of Zelda.
Yeah. Okay. You wanna expand on that, bro?
Well, I mean, I had an NES, and we had Zelda, and I played it. I mean, I did a lot with that.
Eric, how about you?
I did a lot with that game. I was always... I knew that game inside and out, and I had a rolled up, like paper, blank paper that was like a roll. It was just rolled up, and I was slowly becoming a Legend of Zelda cartographer.
That's awesome.
Because I drew a grid, and I went through each of the screens and drew all the bushes and the rocks and the caves.
I actually did something similar to that, but I didn't go into detail. I drew on a piece of paper. I started off with the first screen that you go on, and I just marked that one. And then, when you go left and right, I put if there was something important there or not, so I knew to skip those screens. That's the good old days.
Well, I had an end game to that, though, because it was in high school when I was doing this, and I had limited internet, but access, I should say. And I remember seeing, there was, these rumors, because back then in the 90s, there were so many rumors and you couldn't debunk them. Mm-hmm. And it was, there was a rumor that there was supposed to be a third ring of power, because there was the blue one and the red one, and then they said there's supposed to be a green one, was a rumor for it. And so I was looking everywhere for the green ring, figuring, well, if I map out everything and I hit every single piece of rock, bush, or whatever with everything I have, then I'll be able to do it. But well before that, I had that game. I had it known by the back of my hand. I would actually skip getting the sword in the beginning. The old man tries to give you.
Why?
Because. Yeah, it's hard. I would go through the whole first dungeon without a sword.
What?
Or maybe no, that's not what it, so getting your upgrades for the swords, like old man says, it's dangerous to go alone, and I'm like, fuck you, I don't need your goddamn wooden sword. And so I go and I go around and I would push the statues and the rocks that would lead to rupees. I would buy a candle. I would set everything on fire, get more rupees, to buy the tools that you could buy using rupees. And then I would get some heart containers, and then I would go and get the second sword upgrade, because once you get a certain amount of heart containers, you can get the sword upgrades.
Huh. Cool.
It was a whole thing.
I got you. I mean, and that's the great thing about the Adventure of Zelda period. All the games just have so much exploration, and you can play pretty much how you want to play, even back then. Jones, how about you, bro?
My first game was also the original Legend of Zelda, but I did not have it nearly in the same capacity as Mr. Kevin did over there. In fact, my first time playing was back, you go to the store and they had those games where they had 20 games you could select from, and sometimes Zelda was the game up. So literally, my first time playing was in the store, just trying it out. But that actually led me to, Montgomery Ward's and J.C. Penney, or I think I did it at Sears or whatever. But yeah, that actually led to me playing my first actual Zelda, which, I played it, but the one that I actually got into because of that game was A Link to the Past, because I wanted to play that original Zelda, but I didn't get it. But I got the Super Nintendo one, was actually even better. Not Super NES. I mean, Super NES, by the way, not no SNES, not no something stupid like that. No, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
It's the SNES, damn it.
No. Anyway, I would never justify
Don't make me side with Eric.
Wow. No, but so my first official Zelda game was technically the original Zelda, but I didn't play it too much because I didn't actually have it for years after I beat it on Super Nintendo. But it was a good game too. But anyway, Super Nintendo Zelda, great ass game. I loved the rain. I loved everything about it. It was my first technical RPG that I ever played. So,
it's actually a callback to one of our old episodes, Top 10 Reigns. And
yeah, it was. Well, actually, I don't think we actually did that. We said we were going to do it, but we never actually did it.
Bonus points for next episode. The first one that I remember playing was, of course, the original, but the one that I played the crap out of, because I think this was the first Bloodborne type game I ever played. The second Zelda for the NES. That game was hard as hell, man.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my god! And that was the only game I had at the time, so I had to play it, and I had to go through it and beat it, and just over and over again. And I remember loving getting out of the main world and going into the towns, and talking to the people. And at the first town you go in, it's this chick with a red dress on, and I had the biggest crush on her. She had this little thing on her head, and no, it was the one that was going through dance, and she was shifting back and forth. I was shaking, baby, shaking.
Wow.
You're like, ooh, baby, I like them pixels.
I love them pixels. and then I would leave the town, because when you came into town, she ran into the house and shut the door really fast. That's because she knew I was coming.
Yeah, because Pervo was coming.
She was Stugger. But I always try to run and try to get her really fast. And then the marshlands in that game was really cool. I really enjoyed the power-ups in there. Getting different color suits was always really cool. Going into the dungeons, I love the dungeons. Dungeons were hard as hell, man. I remember taking me forever to...
That's because they had no maps and they were complicated as hell. That's what made them hard.
Yeah, and the freaking enemies were cheap as hell. It felt like a Castlevania game.
I don't think that game was actually... I don't think that was actually meant to be a Zelda game originally, but then they were like, hey, let's make this into a Zelda game.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
but the last... getting into the last area was a big issue for me, because I didn't know you had to use a hammer to chop down a tree to get the thunder spell. I'm like, who uses a hammer to chop down a tree?
That's exactly what I was thinking, just not a hammer.
I never had it. Well, I'm feeling like this. I don't remember not getting the thunder spell, so I don't remember that part being in trouble.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know you had that. I didn't get the in-game tip, I think, that they had in there, that the town person, I don't know, maybe I missed that. All I know is that I never thought that I had to use a hammer to cut down a tree.
You're just supposed to hit it hard enough, I guess.
That's what she said.
No logic, baby.
We're gonna move on.
It's like Thor's hammer.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I can't. We're gonna move on to some of our favorite memories and most memorable moments in Zelda. In Zelda history. Actually, Jones, I'm gonna start with you first.
I got so many, but we'll go along with the Link to the Past when you beat the Wizard Abraham, or whatever the hell you say his name, and then you think everything's
Agraham.
gonna be good. Yeah, him. So then, you get sent into the damn dark world, and you ain't got, like, no friends or anything. Like, you thought you were doing so good, you got all those powers, like, yay, we're gonna win. And nope. So we're gonna send you to the dark world. You ain't got a friend in the world. Evil stuff happening. It's looking dark. It looks like the end of the world just happened. And also, since I'm gonna steal 2 moments. Ocarina of Time. When you get to the Master Sword and you think everything's gonna go all good, you gotta pick up the sword. No, you get put to sleep for 7 years, dog.
Yeah, no, that was definitely crazy.
Wait. Did he jump into Ocarina of Time there?
I did.
I didn't even hear him transition. I was like,
It's because it got quiet for a second. He was like, "Okay, I'm gonna keep going."
Pretty much.
One of my most memorable moments, because I'm just gonna jump in here since we're talking about Ocarina of Time. Those freaking when you go back in time and everything is like dead, and you run across those damn zombie things. What are those things called?
The Stalfos?
Yeah.
no,
And
not Stalfos or the skeletons. He's talking about the mummies that face rape you. They jump on you and
those
scream.
days, man. I literally like sat there and for like 10 minutes to put the controller down. I was like, I'm not moving.
Oh, that's creepy as hell, for real. In the damn form dungeon. Oh, I hated those things. They do be face pumping you.
And then, speaking of more scary moments, the freaking Majora Mask Moon.
You know how much you love that thing.
In my damn nightmares, bastard. Kevin, how about you? What's one of your most memorable moments in your Zelda history?
Link to the Past, playing that game, and basically giving the blacksmith my sword to forge after doing the 4th Dark World dungeon, and then going through the 5th, the Ice Palace, without a sword, completely without a sword, and beating the boss and everything just with using a hammer and bombs.
There's the hammer again.
I wasn't cutting down trees, I was bashing in skeleton skulls. There's a difference.
Bashing them skulls in, bitches.
Link went full on Dungeons and Dragons cleric, basically.
Cute.
But yeah, just all my adventures in Link to the Past, because I used to go all around throughout that game and just looking through for everything, because I had really no other games on the SNES.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the greatest things about the Zelda games is that they give you so much to figure out and so much to explore and find and little nooks and crannies and Easter eggs and stuff like that. That's one of my favorite things about those games. To this day. Kim, do you have any memorable moments from any Zelda game?
Okay, now I probably have them all the titles all jumbled up in my head because I haven't played them in forever.
It's all good.
Will help.
But I think is Link's Awakening.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one where you get washed up on the beach and you have to collect all the instruments and stuff?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that one I just had a really good time playing.
But why?
Isn't that Link's Awakening?
Yeah. We've already gone through that. Yep.
Okay.
But why was it?
I love the Ballad of the Windfish on that one, and even with on the Super Game Boy Advance, I would sit there and just listen to it in its Game Boy 8-bit music glory.
That freaking remake, man. The remake was good, but the only issue with it was there was some lag and slowdown for absolutely no reason, other than
I never had that issue.
That game was beyond gorgeous.
my only issue with Link's Awakening remake was that it was a 1-for-1 remake basically, and it didn't really have. No, we don't talk about those. Just because, like, since I had already beat the game, and I remembered pretty much every single bit of it for the most part, I was able to just breeze through it. And when I play a Zelda game, I want it to last more than a weekend. Especially when they charge full Switch price for it.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of got the better end and the bootleg end of it all at the same time, because when Cyrus came out here a couple years ago, we ended up we went from me trying out the game to having a long play where I kind of basically just went through that bad boy in like 6 hours.
No. It took us 12 hours. We played 12 hours straight, and we basically streamed it on the podcast. And while we were doing the damn dungeons, because some of those dungeons were easy, I was on the computer, working the 1s and 2s, recording and all that kind of stuff. And Jones was playing, and I would tell him which way to go in the freaking in the dungeon and everything. Because those last few dungeons, man, I don't know how anybody ever beat those damn things.
Beat it back in the day.
Oh, you mean going through the egg and knowing what directions to take?
No, that was easy.
It was a specific dungeon where you had to go through the different floors. Like you had to do some.
The dungeon before Death Rock.
Go to the second floor and then fall down on a specific part, and then
I beat that part.
The first thing you gotta do, Cyrus, is you gotta get good.
True story.
Falling down to previous floors kind of reminds me of those gym puzzles in Pokemon. In some Pokemon games.
Those are easy version. The gym things are easy.
I always thought
the biggest thing is if you played Link to the Past to death like I did, then like that stuff you're just already used to.
Damn it.
I did play through Link to the Past at least like 5 or 6 times myself. Probably not as many times.
And you still had problems? You still had problems?
I didn't have problems, but the point is I didn't get a chance to because we were like just going through it and he was just telling me where to go before I even had a chance to. So I was just basically just listening.
That's called blame deflection. You are his scapegoat, Cyrus.
Eric had a good time playing it, and I did.
It was fun.
It was definitely fun.
Yeah, it was a good game. It really was. I just kind of wish that it had been like
just a little bit
a true remake.
Different, yeah.
Like bringing something more to the plate than just like the main course. Yeah. Like I didn't mind the graphics part of it, but it would have been nice to have like maybe something more anime style. That would have been really cool. But I do like the fact that they updated the gear the way they did the gear on there, because my biggest issue with Link's Awakening was having to equip the shield and have it and the sword and have them take up a tool slot that you could be using for something else.
I didn't necessarily mind it because it was cool to have like the shield bombs. That was like the new thing back then.
That was actually one of the reasons why I probably won't replay or when they brought it for the Game Boy Advance on the Wii U was the Oracle of Season and Oracle of Time or Ages.
Those are the ones that
games
need to remake in that style that they did Link's Awakening, because those games would be great.
Yeah, those games are awesome, and I loved the whole carryover that they had between the two games. Mm-hmm. And how the story the story would be different based on which game you played first to go over to the second one.
Yep.
I loved that. But I think that because it was made in the same style as Link's Awakening, mm-hmm. and I think that those are the only 3 games that Capcom had their hands in, because Capcom, like Nintendo published it, but Capcom actually made them.
I see.
I didn't know they did Link's Awakening. I thought they did the other 2, but I didn't know about Link's Awakening.
Pretty sure they did Link's Awakening also, because it's in the same style. I mean, I'm gonna go and fact check, but
Minish Cap.
you guys continue.
That I actually really enjoyed. I still got it on my Wii U, but I got stuck in that damn game. But I thoroughly enjoyed the time I had with it. I'm gonna go back and play it for sure. That story is a fun one, indeed. And
It is.
The dungeons are unique and the weapons are unique, so I really enjoyed myself with that one. But I wish they would bring it to the Switch.
It's funny, you just mentioned the 3 Zelda games that I've never played.
So not maybe I guess not Link's Awakening, but Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages, Four Swords, and Minish Cap were all done by Capcom, developed by Capcom.
I gotcha. Another favorite memory of mine is I know a lot of people didn't really care for Skyward Sword, but I had a blast with it, and just the entire game as a whole. Like, I didn't like the repetitive boss fights with that giant.
Hey, quiet, I ain't beat it yet, you hush up now.
Oh, that's right, you didn't. Oops. Sorry.
What?
Sorry. I forgot that you're still playing it. Oopsie. Never mind.
What?
Okay, I'm just gonna say
hold
overall that Skyward Sword has some of my favorite weapons in any of the Zelda.
Oh.
That's for true.
I will say this, but I've had a theory about what you just kind of blurted out there that was kind of seeming like it might be a thing just because of certain person that you fight in the first boss, so I figured that might be a thing, but I'm not saying confirming or denying what you just said, so I'm not gonna dignify that anything else.
Okay. Moving on just a little bit. What are y'all's top 2 or 3 most favorite Zelda experiences? Like your favorite games in the series. Which ones are the best to you and why? Kevin, let's start with you.
I mean, Link to the Past, just because of how much I played it. It was just the most memorable because it was after playing 8-bit and going into 16-bit and just the graphics and the music and just the intrigue of it all basically was really cool. And it was really good for the imagination back then as well. It was just really good. Like everything was just memorable and fun. All the way up to the music that you get to hear when you go into the town for the first time, or whenever Link would have you would charge up your sword for the spin attack, and the sword would be sticking out.
That's good stuff.
And the knights would come at you, and you'd be able to block them coming at you with your sword. Yeah. So it'd be kind of like an old school sword fight, and then you'd just they'd bounce back, and then you'd spin attack, and then just own them. It was just all a good experience, really, and it just takes me back to back then.
And that's definitely on my list too. I know it's on Eric's list too. But for me, it was a deeper game for me than what it should have been because, and I said this before, I'll say it again, but it was one of the games that me and my boy Trey, rest in peace, played together, almost start to finish. I think we borrowed it from Eric, and we just spent an entire weekend, from Friday to Sunday, just playing through that game and trying to figure things out. And I even had a notebook with some stuff written down on it, little secret spots and whatnot. So this definitely got a soft spot for me for that reason. But aside from that, I mean,
that game.
Go ahead.
That game almost got me calling a 900 number for tips.
Oh, damn!
I'm glad I never did. I was frustrated. Well, because my first experience with that game was as a rental. I didn't actually own it straight out, and I was getting to the end of the day for having it returned, and I couldn't get into the stupid the dark woods, the 6th dungeon.
Oh,
I couldn't get into that because I didn't know I had to hit the one single spot with the fire magic to get it to open up. And so and I accidentally hit it with the fire magic, and then it opened up, and I was like, really? All this time? Swinging swords, busting out hammers, all this shit, and it was just one little small thing of fire.
There's definitely a lot of cool little secrets in that game.
Yeah, I mean, and Ocarina of Time probably one of my second one, because it was, seeing it first in 3D and everything was really awesome, and it was just, I don't know, it was also a really difficult game, and I played that at a friend's house because I didn't have an N64. I didn't actually go on to play that and beat it until the GameCube collectors. The GameCube disc came out that had all of the original games on there, which I regrettably sold for a lot of money, actually.
You shouldn't regret it. It was a lot of money.
Well, I sold a bunch of my GameCube games and stuff, and like hard to find PlayStation games before I moved out here to Wisconsin, so that I could have some money set aside. So, I mean, it's regrettable because I don't have them anymore, but money's money. That's the only time I really sold my games. But as I was saying, playing Ocarina of Time at my friend's house, I got to the water temple, and the way I did the temple, I somehow locked myself out of being able to complete it. And I didn't know that I could reset the puzzles. I think it was using the Song of Time. I'm not really sure what exactly was, so I just thought I just screwed myself over. And I just like, well, I guess I'm done with this game. I can't figure anything out. And since it was at a friend's house, it was, easier to just put it down because, since I didn't own it or anything.
I gotcha. Jones, how about you, bruh?
Well, since Kevin just went on and said both my games, I'm going to go anyways. Number one, Link to the Past, because as I said, that was my first true Legend of Zelda game. It was a really amazing experience because, I played it. I won't say it was right when it first came out, but it was like kind of the first year after it came out because I originally rented it too, and just one of the funny moments is, you always have that one save file that's like somewhere, it's like, I just want to see where they are. It's like, they got the stupid renamed character and everything else, but then it's like, oh man, I want to get here. So, working on it. But it was just a really good experience. It was, first of all, I think it was the first game I had the true experience of what rain felt like in a Super Nintendo game, and I loved that. I wish there was more rain.
I beg to differ. How about Super Metroid?
Legend of Zelda came out before Super Metroid, though.
Oh, it did? Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
I did say my first. But yeah, so I love the Pegasus boots. I would literally just start ramming into every single
so much
wall I could.
Love the Pegasus boots.
It would have been better if you could do it in, but back in the day, it was just awesome. It was like those tools. They had some of the coolest items, the Pegasus boots and the boomerang, the long boomerang, the red one. Torch, which they had the Torch on Nintendo, but it was just better, how they did it in this game. It wasn't infinite. You had to get the magic to use the oil. Then they had all the different rods, did different things. There were just so many items. You look at the items, it's like, oh my god, how am I supposed to get all of those items? It's like there's so many.
I love having that magic, the ice and the fire. It's so much fun to just go around.
Yeah, the wands,
waste stuff and burn stuff. It's a good time.
My thing on that one was Link to the Past had even really small details, like taking a dude's sign and him getting angry with you. You've been basically harassing you until you zone out. And then
it was the first Karen
draining. Yeah, and then draining the water from the one temple.
People in the Darklands, I think you mean. Are you talking about Link Awakening?
Link to the Past. And the one swamp, the marsh,
yeah,
the swamp temple. And you drain the water in the light world, and it affects the dark world version of it. But
the
thing I liked about that was the fish, you go and pick the fish up and take it and throw it into the water, back into the water up in the screen above, and it jumps out and it thanks you. And it gives you money for saving its life, even though you were the cause of its predicament in the first place.
They don't need to know that. Yeah, like you just Link to the Past. It did a lot of things good.
It sure did. And speaking about Link to the Past, what about Link Between Worlds? It's pretty much the same damn game, but with that mechanic of like turning into a piece of paper, basically.
Well, it was the same game because it was a direct sequel to Link to the Past.
But I mean, I felt like I was like pretty much doing the same stuff in there. I had to look up a few things.
I love Link Between Worlds was awesome. I loved that the wall puzzle portion of it because it was something new.
It was definitely great, but I mean, it was nice to be back in that world. But to me, it just felt like I was kind of doing the same thing over again. Kim.
No, you ain't gonna take my second game away after Kevin got to do like 20 minutes. So my other one is Ocarina of Time, of course, because as Kevin said, it was the first 3D Zelda game, but it just did so many things, just so right. The soundtrack was great, just like the atmosphere, like, you know, the fact that they had like different villages and stuff, but they actually felt like real villages this time. Like, I mean, I guess the one that Super Nintendo did too, but it just had a whole different atmosphere to it. And there was just so much stuff you could do, so many people to interact with, so many bosses to fight, so many secrets to find. And I'll let it go with that because I want to let Kim have her turn. I just throw that in to you.
Thanks, Jones. We appreciate you. Kim, what are your top couple of games besides Link's Awakening and
Okay. So, in order of my favorite games, based off of how many times I've played them, because that's the true judge of if I thoroughly enjoyed the game or not.
Gotcha.
It would be A Link to the Past, obviously. It was a good classic. Everybody loved it. Link's Awakening, because again, the game is just really, really fun. Especially, there's a lot of the story of that game that I just thought was hilarious, and I just really enjoyed it. But my all-time favorite, which I strongly think they need to make a remake for and bring it to Switch, like you said, Minish Cap.
Yes, sir.
It's a very underappreciated, underrated Zelda game, and I think the creators kind of forgot all about it because given they're doing all these new games and bringing back some others, and I'm like, oh, what about this one? This one was a gem.
I think there might be an issue with Capcom being the developer, so.
I think that was one of the first games I bought for my Game Boy Advance, and so I played it for hours and constantly, always playing it. Because I had that and Pokemon games. So I was kind of going back and forth a little bit between them.
I actually bought a Game Boy Advance SP because I heard it had the lighter screen, and I bought it for Minish Cap. But then when I bought the game didn't work, and I got it from GameStop, and I was pissed.
You better return that bitch, get another one.
Well, I wound up getting it because around that time is when I heard about the closing of the eShop on the Wii. So I thought it was closing, so I went and I bought it on there with a bunch of other games, including Spirit Tracks, and what was the other one that uses the pen?
Oh, Phantom Hourglass?
Yeah. Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks, and Minish Cap, and I tried all three of them out on the same weekend. It was like a Saturday to Sunday, and I just played them all just to give them like a legit shot. But Minish Cap is the one that stuck because that was so much fun.
Yeah, because Phantom Hourglass and Tracks were horrible, and they were just trying to use the franchise as a way to introduce the moving the stylus, basically.
Yeah.
This is what I kind of felt like. It was just they were just trying to promote the gimmick of the touchscreen.
Yeah, it was one big gimmick.
I won't even touch those games.
I heard the second one was better than the first one, though.
I like Minish Cap.
Actually,
No, I mean not Minish Cap. I meant like Phantom Hourglass.
No, I know, what you mean. I like Minish Cap because it added to the Four Swords storyline.
Four Swords is one I wish I
thought it was
played
really cool.
with other people, but by the time I played it, it just didn't work. And then there was another one that came out later on that they used for people, the Triforce something. I got that one too.
Right, the one on 3DS, I got it. I never really played because I didn't have anybody to play with.
Exactly.
It was basically Four Swords Adventures, really, but just a little bit different. Four Swords Adventures was cool though. They did a Game Boy or GameCube version of Four Swords Adventures. I think you had to use the Game Boy Advance as the controller though.
Interesting. Kim, continue. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you probably play back. You probably hear me start talking like 3 or 4 times, and then I get paused.
Sorry, girl.
No, it's kind of how it goes every time. On a side note, I was just gonna say that Minish Cap, like, on a little anecdote, that game was the only game I've ever lost. And, like, actually physically lost the copy, and I got so pissed that I lost the copy, I went out and paid full price and bought a new one.
Nice.
And I've never done that before. If any time I've ever lost a game, I'm like, well, it's gone, whatever. What am I gonna do? But no, that one I got so mad, and I tore my room apart trying to find it. Couldn't find it. And then I bought it, and then like a week later I could find it.
Well, back before Diamond and Pearl Remake came out, it was like a few months before, we knew it was coming, and you guys told me to get Diamond and Pearl Remake on the 3DS, and I got it from Amazon, and it was like $20-something, and it came and it didn't work, so I had to go and find it. I found a copy at a GameStop somewhere, and that one actually worked, but you know how that goes.
Yeah.
We are almost out of time, but since we are bringing the quiz back, like I said at the top of the show, I have assigned Kim as the quiz master. So,
Quiz Master
we're
Kim.
going to do our very, very first quiz of the year, and we're going to see how it goes. There is one picture I do have to send to our group chat on Facebook, so Kevin and Eric can see. But aside from that, Kim, do your thing, girl.
First, before I get started, Cyrus, are you keeping score or am I?
I'm keeping score.
Okay, good, because there's too many things for me to keep track of, and I'll probably slip. We're gonna have to get out my notebook and actually start writing notes.
Yeah, I just whipped out a piece of paper, so we're good to go.
Alright. Who's rustling around?
Okay.
Y'all good?
They're so excited.
They're so excited they're not even saying anything, so for all I know, they're like, dead.
You guys still around? You still alive? You ready for this quiz?
And he can forfeit and I'll take that W anyways.
We're here. Oh,
Okay.
wait. You lost so much last time that you're willing to just win by default?
I lost by like one round. Don't you be instigating no BS like that, jackass.
Alright, Kim, take it away, girl.
Alright, so, again, this quiz is based off of, Legend of Zelda, so, be warned. So, question number 1.
Be scared.
Be scared. Testing, put the two know-it-alls together here.
Alright.
Question number 1. Oh, shit, I gotta get my glasses. Not including re-releases or remakes, how many mainline Nintendo Legend of Zelda games feature Link in the title?
Give
Like numbers or we just say
the
it?
answers.
Should I give them the multiple choice, or are we just gonna let them just yellow it?
Yeah, no, the multiple choice for sure.
Okay, the answers are 3, 4, 5, or 6.
And you said including remakes.
Not
including re-releases or remakes.
Oh.
4. I'm gonna say 4.
Eric?
I'm thinking. I gotta be honest on this. I'm gonna say
timer on your
3. 3.
Is that your final answer for both of you?
Yeah,
He
4.
said 4, but yes.
Okay, the correct answer is 4.
And
The titles
You
were...
want me to say it? I'll say the titles.
No.
because you're so sure. Okay, go ahead, say the titles.
Adventures of Link,
Okay,
Link to the Past,
okay,
Link's Awakening,
uh-huh.
and A Link Between Worlds.
There you go.
Oh, no. You said not reasonable, so you had that whole discussion.
That's not a remake. That's still a main sequel. It's a sequel, but it's still main series.
Well,
Good question. Whatever.
you got this, Jones. Come on.
Is there a next question?
Yeah, this is a 10-question quiz.
Yeah, I'm waiting for questions.
Hit it, Kim.
all right, this next question, I the way the question is worded. Okay. What the fuck? The Philips CD. I hosted 3 poorly received non-Nintendo Zelda games. Which of the following was not a Philips CDI title? Link, The Faces of Evil, Zelda, The Wand of Gamelon, Link's Adventure, or Zelda's Adventure?
Faces of Evil.
Eric?
Coach.
So I only knew of two of those games.
I'm gonna say Zelda's Adventure.
Is that both of you guys' final answers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No takebacks?
I think we're both wrong though.
The correct answer is Link's Adventure.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I knew Zelda's Adventure and both of the ones with Zelda in the name. I knew, but I didn't know about the third one.
I knew the one that had Link, and then the one that had Zelda. I wasn't sure about the Zelda's Adventure, but I guess.
I just knew that if it was a Zelda game and it was CDO, then it was a trash fire.
Yeah, it was. It was like Mario Hotel Mario, whatever the hell that crap was.
Classic.
And then Nintendo never let their stuff out of sight again.
Question number 3. Alright. Which Zelda game celebrated its 20th anniversary at the end of April 2020? The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening? Ocarina of Time? Majora's Mask? Or The Wind Waker?
I'm gonna say Ocarina.
20-year anniversary.
20-year anniversary.
That would have meant that I was like. Can you say the name again, please?
No, it wasn't Ocarina.
No shit. Now, can you say those names again?
Jackass.
I'll repeat the question. Which
Thank you.
Zelda game celebrated its 20th anniversary at the end of April 2020? Link's Awakening, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, or The Wind Waker?
D. Wind Waker. Final answer.
Yeah.
Both of you guys.
I was starting to say Wind Waker. He interrupted me, but so
No,
I'm not
I said
talking
it
to him.
first.
We can pick the same answer, you know.
I know.
Well, if you pick the same answer, then both of you are wrong because it's
It was Majora's Mask, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
100%.
Oh, son of a, you're right. Dang. God.
Kevin, you
Dang.
should know not to go with anything Eric says.
I wasn't copying him. It just seemed.
You said it, I would be like, oh no, I'm changing it now.
You're really quick.
I should have been opposite of what he was saying after he blurted it out.
For real.
Next question.
Real quick for this next question. Kim's gonna ask the question. I'm gonna send you guys a picture on Facebook chat.
Okay.
Do I still need to give them multiple choices?
Yes.
Okay. Ocarina of Time features 7 sages. What is the name of this strapping fellow? Raru, Goruto, Goro, or Darunia?
Can you say those names one more time?
Oh,
Right.
that's sort of hard. Raru, Goruto, Goro, Darunia.
I'm just gonna say Goro.
I think it's the first one.
Sorry for my horrible pronunciation.
She apologizes to the Zeldaverse.
But the correct answer is Darunia.
Oh, the last
Good
one.
old Darunia. That's the boy.
Alright.
Alright, it is 1-0. Kevin's in the lead.
1-0. Wow. And we're on question number 5 now. Y'all need to step up the Zelda game.
And also, just a quick side note, I took this quiz on Tuesday to prepare for this episode, and I got 100% on it. So.
Shut up!
So I want to know what this is.
It's easy when you got the answers in front of you.
For real. Next question.
No, it's a legit quiz that you can take online, and I had to take it first before I even was able to copy any of the stuff down. So continue. This next one's easy. You guys both should get this next one.
Alright, what is the main part of a Goron's diet? Rocks, rubies, rats, rubber plants.
It's rocks.
Those delicious rubber plants.
I heard Kevin, I didn't think I heard Eric.
Rocks. He said rocks also.
Okay, well you both are right. The correct answer is rocks.
They would.
Gorons live on a diet of rocks and enjoy the high temperatures of volcanic regions.
Yes, I remember the first time I saw one eating it. He was like, "You want some?" I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm okay."
You like your teeth too much.
Just a little bit.
Alright, question number 6. Here's a good one. I do like this question. Chronologically, according to the in-game universe, which game is the first in this series? The Legend of Zelda? Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link? The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time? The Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword?
Skyward Sword.
The correct answer is Skyward Sword.
Sweet. Very good, Jones. Very good. I'm proud of you for that one.
Everybody knows that. That was too easy.
I mean, I still got a point for that also, so you're still losing.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth.
You shut your whore mouth.
Rude.
Eric Rude Jones.
Alright, question number 7. Navi accompanied Link on his adventure in Ocarina of Time, but what's the name of his fairy companion in Majora's Mask?
Hey, listen.
Tittle, Tattle, Tail, Trip.
Cute.
Tittle.
I said Tittle.
What was the third one you said?
Alright, the options are Tittle, Tattle, Tail, Trip.
How do you spell the third one?
The third one is Tael.
That's
T-A-E-L.
third one. That's my answer, third one.
Tael?
Yeah.
Tail.
Nah, I'm sure that's right, but I'm sticking with the other one because I didn't really play Majora's Mask. I'll let Eric get
You
tied.
just want to say tittle.
Kevin, what was your option? What was yours?
I chose the first one.
You
That was
chose
the
tittle?
old one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because you wanted to say tit?
No, because I for real didn't know, and I was just guessing, and I'm not gonna get the answer right with Eric's help because I got honor.
Well, Eric wouldn't have helped you because you both got it wrong.
Oh.
It's tattle. T-A-T-L.
T-A-T-O? Tato?
T-A-T-L.
I thought you were saying.
Tattle. I thought you were saying tattle, like tattletale. Like tittle.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
That is kind of how I would pronounce it. T-A-T-L. Tattle.
Mm-hmm. That is right.
Damn.
Tittle tattle tail trip. How weird.
And it says early on in Majora's Mask, Link encounters the fairy siblings Tattle and Tail. They are soon separated by Tattle ends up accompanying Link throughout his adventure in Termina, much like Navi did in the previous game.
And Tail possibly died.
I knew about the fairies, but I didn't know their names. Majora's Mask was a very dark game, and it was rumored that it's based on the levels of like the fan theory is that the game is like based on the levels of acceptance, and that Link is actually dead in Majora's Mask, and the whole adventure is him going through and accepting all of that because a lot of the themes in there are about grief and acceptance and loss and stuff.
That's pretty cool. Alright, Kim, next one.
Alright, question number 8. Which of the following Zelda games has the lovable Tingle not appeared in? So which game was Tingle not in? Majora's Mask, The Minish Cap, Oracle of Ages, or Twilight Princess?
Minish Cap. Because I'm pretty sure he originated in Majora's Mask, the evil thing. I don't recall him being in Minish Cap, but I kind of have an image of him in Oracle. No, wait, was he in Oracle?
I'm gonna say. No. I'm gonna say Oracle of Ages. But yet, I think he was. But I never actually played Oracle of Ages. But I think it's Oracle of Ages. Although it could have been that game, but gosh, you think they have made him?
I'm just gonna stick with Minish Cap.
No.
Eric's trying to convince himself what to pick.
Oh boy. Oh my god.
Jones, breathe.
Sounds like he's doing more than just thinking.
Shut up, Oracle of Ages.
Oracle of Ages then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the correct answer is Twilight Princess.
He wasn't in Twilight Princess?
Nope.
That's
It's such a
weird.
game. It's a dark game. That's a goofball ass like
Jones,
thing
relax.
but I did not. No. I should have said it. I really wanted to say it, but I didn't say it because I'm like, I could have sworn he wasn't in it. Because like, look, Twilight Princess is a dark game. Tingle's a goofy ass light character that you know he should have been in. But I thought I knew so much about like a waterfall and shoot the balloon. You keep the balloon.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
He's gonna explode.
Eric,
Next question. Let's go.
Hold on. It says,
Majora's Mask was pretty dark, and then Tingle came from
No,
that.
that was his own. There's a origin game. It wasn't that dark. It just had an evil ass moon and people like dying and
As
stuff. But
as
it wasn't
far
that
as
dark.
far as Twilight Princess goes, it says a character named Perlo looks similar to Tingle. That's probably why you thought he was in there, Jones.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was. I just thought he was in there because he seemed to be like a staple character to basically kill people's eyesight.
Lord,
That dude was crazy.
a little bit.
Yeah, I hate everything about Tingle.
All right, Kim, number 9.
Question number 9. Before we continue, what's the score at so far? Is it
Eric has 2 and Kev has 3.
Okay.
Really?
All right.
I thought it was 2-1 still.
Nope, it's 2-3.
Oh yeah, the rocks question gave everybody the one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Question number 9. What is the name of Link's talking boat in Wind Waker?
The Red King.
King of Blue Fins, King of Golden Sunsets, King of Red Lions, King of White Waves.
King of Red
Red
Lion.
Lion. Even though if we went by your original answer, you'd have lost already.
I would have given it to him anyway because that's correct. King of Red Lions for both of you guys.
No, he said the lion. He said the Red King. You didn't say the King
Yeah,
of Red Lion.
he got the main words there. Red and you got it. But you got it. All right, final question.
Final question.
It could be a tie, or Kevin can take it home.
Go out on understand.
Here we go. Question 10.
There we
Be
go.
prepared is the final question.
Be scared.
Question 10. What is antagonist Ganondorf's last name? Aghanim, Dragmire, Grimoire, Mandrag.
What a
The
drag.
second one.
Aghanim.
Yeah,
So,
the second one.
the second one, Dragmire.
Yeah.
So, Aghanim, Dragmire, Grimoire, Mandrag. And Eric said Aghanim.
That is correct.
You said Aghanim?
The correct answer is Dragmire.
Aghanim is the name of his sorcerer from Link to the Past.
No, I know, but I could have sworn that it was just like now you were that's just his
Why would his sorcerer be like, I'm gonna name myself after Ganon's last name? Yup.
because first of all he was the sorcerer. He was Aghanim. That was
No,
in
he's
the
a
forest,
shade.
though.
He was a shade. That wasn't really Ganon.
Alright,
It's
listen,
the same thing.
listen. It says Aghanim is
I
the
win.
name of the wizard from Link to the Past. Mandrag Ganon is the name mentioned in the English manual for the same name. And it says outside the realm of Zelda, Grimoire is a magical textbook. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Alright, so the winner of the very first quiz.
Bring it to
Holding on to it.
Just keep it. No, hold on. Time out. He ain't got no big ass streak like that, and he only won 3-2. So I don't be trying to over and pump it up next time. We have a damn 10.
No, it wasn't 3-2. It was 4-2. That's 4-2, buddy.
This is 5-3. This game. Kevin got 5 right. Eric got 3 right. Out of 10, obviously. So the winner of the very first quiz of 2022 is Kev, the aggro man, Alistair. Yeah.
Now, I will.
Yes.
I was going to say next quiz. I think I should put together a Final Fantasy 14 one to really test their knowledge, since how they both seem to
Well,
have a lot of Final Fantasy 14 knowledge.
well.
Next week will probably be a Pokemon one.
Each quiz is going to be based on the episode we're doing. Is basically from your suggestion, Kim. You said that the episodes need to be more cohesive, so that's what I'm doing. So next week is going to be our
Okay.
Arceus episode, and if I can come up with a Pokemon quiz unless you want to do it, but I know you got, lots to do with work and Final Fantasy.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
So yeah, so we could definitely work that out together. But next week it'll be another 10-question quiz, and we'll see how it goes from there. We're gonna have one each week until I deem that we stop. But of course, I'll give you guys a heads up. Anyway, with that being said, thank you so much, people, for listening to the podcast. Eric, you have something to say? I can't hear you, bro.
He's talking shit again.
You're going down next week in the Pokemon quiz.
And it's gonna be a generations quiz, just to make it that much harder. And I'm gonna pull out some deep cuts, so it's not some easy shit that you guys can just both, get out of your damn head. So anyway, with that being said, thanks for joining us, folks, on the very first numbered episode of the podcast of the year. I'm excited to get back to it. We are continuously evolving this podcast to make it better. And if anybody else is listening, please leave some comments below. And with that being said, gamers, don't forget to keep on
leveling up.
Leveling up.